Be sure to check out the companion article by clicking on the link below for even more in-depth analysis on the best scorers in the NBA. Attention, all stats used are based on per 36 minutes. Have you ever wondered who was the best scorer in the NBA? Of course, we all know the LeBrons and the Durants of the league, but when it comes down to it, who is the guy you can trust to score in the face of the best defenses? Are there players out there that simply feast on bad D, earning millions of dollars by taking advantage of the bad rotations, helping one-pass aways, and poor transition pickups? We dug deep into the stats of the top 25 scorers in the league this year to discover which players excel against the top defenses and which players are inflating their numbers against the bad defenses. So let's dive deep into our 4 major categories in which these scorers get the most bang for their buck and find out who the real men are. Let's start with the field goal percentage. We looked at the boost teams are expected to get from playing the bottom 10 defenses and then compared their difference between their shooting versus the top 10 defenses and the bottom 10. The average boost is 1.93%, but Aaron Aflalo leads this category, shooting almost 13% better against bad defense than good. DeMarcus Cousins is second with a 9% increase when he's not going against the Hibberts and Noahs of the league. John Wall has been able to keep his shooting percentage above the Mendoza line by abusing the teams that lack defensive systems. And Monte Ellis and James Harden round out the list of players whose field goal percentage benefits the most from playing against bad teams. On the flip side, 3 point guards top the list of players who actually shoot better from the field against good defenses. Damian Lillard leads everyone by shooting over 3% better against the Chris Pauls and Norris Coles of the league, while Isaiah Thomas and Goran Dragic also rise to the occasion and help their team with their incredible and creative shot making. It's surprising that Jamal Crawford makes an appearance with his sometimes questionable shot selection, and Kevin Durant sneaks into the top 5 by being remarkably consistent against both good and bad defense. Let's move on to assists, since bad defenses tend to rotate poorly after the initial attack, and this is where these scorers can really take advantage. With Coach Adelman's clever high post offense, it's no surprise Kevin Love gets a huge boost with a staggering 37% more assists. DeMar DeRozan is next in line, serving up dimes at a 3 times the expected boost, while Isaiah Thomas also gets a lot of help when he gets the defenses to collapse. 2 power forwards round out the top 5, and when they face the top defenses, don't expect many assists at all from either LaMarcus Aldridge or David Lee. Where it gets impressive is with the other side of this coin, where the main weapons have to resort to other ways to create buckets when the Thibodeaus and Vogels come to town. James Harden gets 21% more assists for his team rather than force tougher shots, while Kevin Martin also improves his number even though he just doesn't get that many assists. Damian Lillard rises to the occasion with a big bump as well, while John Wall and Kevin Durant each help their teammates out much more than the average player against top defense. Now, let's get to the part where we really separate the men from the boys. First, let's look at free throw attempts and see who pads their numbers with easy shots against weak-kneed defenders. Dirk Nowitzki has destroyed the bottom 10 defenses by getting almost 50% more free throw attempts, while Kevin Martin struggles to get to the line when he's playing the good defenses compared to the bad. John Wall, interestingly, is the only point guard in this group and is way above the average expected boost for shooting fouls. DeMar DeRozan and Kevin Durant do not get nearly as many free throw attempts against good defenses. Players that fight through the good defense to create scoring opportunities from the line are extremely important to an offense, and Carmelo Anthony is the cream of the crop, shooting 16% more free throws against the good teams, while Kyrie is right behind him as they are both forced to carry major loads. LaMarcus Aldridge uses his body and shot fakes to draw many more fouls, and both Isaiah Thomas and Steph Curry have to resort to attacking the rim more since good defenses can take away the 3-ball better. Now, we all know it's about getting buckets, so let's look at who's been feasting on bad defenses. Kevin Martin leads this category by scoring a whopping 31% more points per 36, taking advantage of the Eric Gordons and OJ Mayos of the league to sling that ball across his body into the net. Aaron Aflalo is right behind him with a 27% increase in points, while going up against those same deficient shooting guards. Big guys round out the next three spots, with Al Jefferson, DeMarcus Cousins, and Dirk Nowitzki getting a big bump when there's a lack of system to double team them down low effectively. The truly elite scorers might surprise you, since the top two are point guards we put a spotlight on recently. Isaiah Thomas increases his scoring by a whopping 16% against the top defenses in the league, raising his game to whole new levels. Goran Dragic maintains his consistent play against those top defensive clubs, as does Carmelo Anthony. Damian Lillard does score more against the bad defenses, but there isn't much variance, and LeBron James makes an appearance here as well. So, what have we learned from all this? Against the bad defenses, 5 players appeared in 2 of the 4 categories, and it's Kevin Martin and Aaron Aflalo who have inflated their numbers the most. These numbers are a pretty good indicator of playoff production, however neither of these 2 players are likely to make it. Dirk Nowitzki and John Wall are the 2 players who will make the playoffs, and unfortunately for them, this bodes poorly for their team's hopes. Both Isaiah Thomas and Damian Lillard appeared in 3 of the 4 good categories top 5, and since we've already seen a number of clutch moments from Lillard, I'd expect big things from him this spring. Dragic and Durant appear in 2 of the 4 categories top 5, and they've shown the ability to elevate their games against the best. If you're wondering why LeBron hasn't come up much, he is simply Mr. Consistent and gets his excellent numbers no matter who tries to stop him.